Hi Gilby, how are you?
I'm great.
It's Mark calling from the Rock Pit Down Under. Thank
Hey
you.
Mark, how are you?
Very good, thanks mate. Thanks so much for talking to us today.
No problem, man. I'm excited.
No worries. It would be great to see you back down under in Australia. 4 dates, Brisbane to Sydney, the end of November to the start of December. What do you remember of your last visit to us here?
Well, my last time I was there was Kings of Chaos.
Yeah.
And we played a show. Kings of Chaos was a band with myself, Matt, and Duff McKagan from Guns.
Yeah.
Steve Stevens on guitar. We had Glenn Hughes, Sebastian Bach singing. And we did a show with Aerosmith and
Van Halen.
Yeah. Jimmy Barnes. That was the last time that I was there. That was a really fun show because of the bands that we played with. It was really exciting to see some of those groups all together.
Yeah, it was a great day apart from the weather, as I remember.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, I remember being dumped on in the photo pit by all the rain falling off the top of the stage. But it's great to see you back. And also, it's pretty exciting for me because it's been quite a while since the last one. But I understand you're also almost finished a new solo album.
Exactly. I've been working on it for pretty much this whole year. I mean, I've had the luxury to really take the time and work on the songs and finesse them. I'm not someone that, writes a song and goes, okay, let's knock it down. It needs to get worked. I like to work with the musicians and get their feedback and kind of jam them a little bit. So it was a really great process on this record, and I'm pretty much done recording it. I'm in the mixing stages of it right now. I don't have a release date, but hopefully it'll probably be after the first of the year now.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's a rock record. It's a rock and roll record. It's all guitars. It's for anyone that's heard my solo records before, it's in the same vein, but it's definitely fine-tuned. I think after all these years, I've become a better guitar player, a better singer, a better songwriter. So those things that you can really hear and see in this music, I definitely think that the singing is by far the best I've ever done.
Yeah, fantastic. That's great. I mean, I've seen you a few times over the years. Fortunately, never with Kill for Thrills, which still play that album to this day. But I got to see you a few years ago at I think the first time was probably the Cat Club, where you used to do those jams with Slim Jim and Co. And then a few years later at Rock in America, where you played a great set there. What's the enduring appeal of playing live? What does it mean to you? Especially getting
to me, playing live is an important part of the process. I've always said, our job, besides, we're artists, being an artist, it's our job to create something new. But, being a musician, but also being a performer, I take it very seriously, and I think it's important. I came from, the Kiss school.
Yeah.
When I was a young kid and I saw Kiss, it blew my mind. I never thought it was important, to have flash pods and makeup and stuff, but I think it's important at the live show that they're seeing something unique. And I've always done that. We've always tried to make our shows almost like a party. We already got the songs and how we're going to play it, but the audience, we feed off that energy, and we make sure that they're a part of it. I want them to go home, and I want them to be surprised. I want them to go, God, man, Gilby and his band are really good, and we do get that. People are always go, wow, I didn't know he could do this. I didn't know he could do that, which is great, because most people, if you do know me, you know me from the gun stuff, which is playing second guitar to Slash.
Yeah.
I really didn't get to be who I am. So this is a really unique opportunity to get out there and play live and be who you are and entertain, which I think is an important part.
Yeah. So what do you throw into the set? Does it go all the way back to Candy and Kill for Thrills?
Well, it doesn't go that far back. But I do actually, I don't think we are on this trip, but I usually do a Kill for Thrills song.
Yeah.
I do, a few from my solo record. We do Slash the Snake Pit, Rockstar Supernova. We do Guns, of course, MC5. It's really rock and roll. I do Stones, we do Beatles, we do The Who. It's just, I just got to have that luxury to really just play some really great rock and roll songs.
Yeah, so you throw it all into the mix, and I guess all songs are important to you and sort of reflect the player you are. Where did you?
Well,
think...
they are. It's who shaped me. These songs are who shaped me as a musician and as an artist.
Where did you think you would be when you started out as a kid, just entering the scene? Did you ever expect it to be such an interesting journey?
Well, that's an interesting question because, when I first started out, I've always been a guitar player first. I mean, I always, used to imagine of playing guitar with like Rod Stewart or, being that guy with the singer, all guitar players have different dreams and stuff, but that, like the keys to a Mick, that was always, where I wanted to be. I always, like I said, when I was younger, Rod Stewart's music was really, really important to me, and Ron Wood and the Faces.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that I really, really like. It's funny because now, as I've matured, I don't really play that stuff very often. I mean, in my set here, when I have my full band, we'll pull out the open G guitar and do some slides, stuff like that. But, when I'm traveling these shows to Australia, I can't really bring my guitars with me to do slide and do that. I've got to kind of trim it down a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean that's what you were grounded in, is it? I mean, it's interesting because the Face is one of my favourite bands, of course, and the whole, I guess, the Small Faces, Steve Marriott, that sort of thing as well. Is that the sort of stuff you were listening to growing up? What actually made you pick up that guitar for the first time? Was there a defining moment, or was it just a?
Well, there was a few things. I mean, strangely enough, what made me pick up a guitar was when I was young. I saw a poster of Jimi Hendrix. That was it, like at a head shop, and I saw a poster of Jimi Hendrix, and it was him in the Monterey Pop era, where he had the blue outfit on and the white Stratocaster. And that image was very strong to me. I was like, man, that's the coolest looking cat I've ever seen. And I was like, wow. And it's not that I was so attracted to Jimi Hendrix's music as much as it was to him and that image. And being that, I grew up in the mid-'70s, I listened to bands like Kiss, Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, Alice Cooper, things like that. And then later, I got into like more English stuff like the Clash and the Sex Pistols, and I've kind of changed around a lot, but it was always guitar oriented, And Mick Ronson from David Bowie's band, like there was something when I heard some of those solos and stuff and those parts that just really spoke to me.
Yeah, I mean, great, absolutely great set of influences there. Are you playing much locally these days, and are you going to be taking the new album out onto the road?
Absolutely. That is my whole goal of making this record, was just to kind of reestablishing who I am, out there. I kind of felt like, over the years, as we get older, we start doing kind of the pretty shows, the higher paid shows, the Kings of Chaos shows, things like that. And I like playing my music. Like, I like my songs. I like the set that I'm about to do in Australia. I like doing that. I enjoy it. So doing the new record was important to me to kind of reestablish it. It really was to get some new music out there and get out there next year and just reestablish myself as an artist. Yeah,
that'll be wonderful. Do you have favourite moments over your career? Anything that you can pinpoint as? I mean, one of the stories I always read about you was your introduction. I guess that first time into Guns N' Roses came pretty fast. You were sort of like 1 minute you were learning songs and the next minute you were on stage. Was that? I guess.
Yeah, well, that moment happened within a week from the day Slash called me. 2 weeks later, I was on stage with them. So that process did happen really fast. I mean, that was definitely an exciting time of, there's so many things that go through your mind with that. It's not just, joining this band, because to be honest, I didn't know if I was joining the band or just getting hired. They were the ones that took me in and made me a band member, into the band and stuff. They liked it. They wanted this to continue. But that process of, getting accepted, of getting the gig, of knowing that this band that sold millions of records wanted you to play guitar, not just a guitar player, they wanted you. So that felt great. That felt really, really good. It was definitely a good moment. I mean, there's been a lot of things. I mean, I've done some shows, with the MC5 that were really, really fun. We did a show in a very small club in Italy, and it was like almost like downstairs in the basement, maybe about 250 people. But it was dirty, it was dark, it was sweaty. I mean, it was punk rock. And I got to tell you, I mean, it was so punk rock, but I had the biggest smile on my face ever, because sometimes that's the stuff that really turns you on, is just getting down and dirty and playing your guitar loud and aggressive. Yeah, that's fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, they were a monumental band as well, so it's amazing that you not only played with MC5, but also were part of the whole Guns N' Roses story as well. I mean, how did that opportunity to play with MC5 come about?
Well, I worked with Wayne a long time ago. I mean, you know, there's a lot of opportunities where you do these like all-star band things, you know, where, oh, let's get Gilby, let's get so-and-so and so-and-so, and you know, do a show for whether it's a corporate show or whatever. Those opportunities come up quite a bit. And we did one, and I believe it was myself and Wayne Kramer playing guitar. It was Pat from the Smithereens, Clem Burke from Blondie was on drums, Kathy Valentine from the Go-Go's was on guitar. It was quite an eclectic collection, but that's why I met Wayne, and we just kind of really clicked. You know, it's like, you know, when he was soloing, I stayed out of his way. When I was soloing, he stayed out of my way. We're like rare guitar players that actually listen to what's going on. So many guitar players stand up there and just fucking go. You know, they're going to show you every trick that they know. Where I'm more of the listening, find my spot, and play and make the song better. Wayne is that same kind of guy. So we just really clicked. And then when he reformed the MC5 to do some shows, you know, he called me, and it just really worked out, man. And I really, really enjoyed that trip. Yeah,
that's something I would have loved to have seen. That would have been fantastic. Such an iconic band. You mentioned a few of your early influences a while ago. Has what you've listened to over the years changed? What are you listening to now?
You know, it's interesting. That's a good question. Yes and no. I mean, in general, I still go by a good song is a good song. And I still believe that a good song will change your life. You know, no matter what. I mean, to me, some of the greatest songs, I mean, even simple as Imagine by John Lennon. You can play it on a piano, you can play it on acoustic guitar, you can play it on harmonica, and it's a great song. So I really go by that. A great song is a great song. But then there's also the guitar player in me that, you know, like loves a great guitar song. Like, you know, I hear Eddie Van Halen play Eruption, or You Really Got Me, and you just go, yeah, man, that's awesome. So it does change. I mean, I find myself, you know, what I noticed over the years is, and you know, you hear a Lady Gaga song, and everybody goes, God, isn't she great? Isn't she great? And I go, well, yeah, she's really good. I don't know if I call her great, but you know, you find yourself sometimes being that grumpy old guy, going, I don't know. So yes and no, my tastes have changed.
Yeah, it's not as good as it used to be. Definitely not. I think all the best songs up until your new album have probably already been written.
Thank you. Well, there's a formula out there. I mean, we all know that there's a formula. But with that being said, I mean, I've heard of, you know, the Rival Sons, man. Yeah. I love them. I think they're fantastic. And I hear some of those riffs, I go, yeah, man, that's badass.
Yeah, no, there's some great new bands out there, definitely, who are sort of like tapping into that spirit of the 70s as well. I mean, it's interesting that sort of people are sort of going back to that late 60s, early 70s sound and sort of trying to bend it in new directions. So it's, there's still a lot of creative people out there, which is great.
I agree. I completely agree with that. There are still a lot of good creative people out there.
If we had to really put you on the spot, and this is a question that I started to ask actually old blues guitarists a while ago, and got some really interesting answers. If we had to really put you on the spot and ask you to name a single song that exemplified your feelings about music and all the sort of power and emotion that it can convey, what would be that song?
Wow. I think, not as a musician, but as like a human being, Wild Horses is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah.
The emotion of that song of, you know, you feel it from the intro. You feel it from the guitars when it starts, and then when the singing comes in. I mean, setting the mood for the song. You know, Wild Horses is kind of one of those songs for me. I like I said, you know, as a musician, maybe not so much, but definitely like that as a human being. I think
Whose idea was that too? Because obviously you jammed that with Slash as part of the usual.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you know what? That actually came up the day before I was doing my first show with Guns. Axel came up to me and goes, "What are you going to do for your solo spot?" And I was like, "Solo spot? What the hell am I doing a solo spot for?" I go, "I've never been one of those guys, you know, where the drum solo or the guitar solo is just not my thing." Yeah. He goes, "Well, Izzy always kind of did something before we did Patience. You know, we like to have these kind of spots." And I go, "Fuck." So when he said that, I thought about it, and just about a month before my first gig with Guns, I'd actually gotten married with my wife, and I did a little acoustic number. I did Wild Horses, you know, for her. I sang and played acoustic guitar and did it. And I did it with one of my buddies, Joe Dog from Dogs D'Amore, was the other guitar player.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'd go, you know, maybe I'll just do Wild Horses and, you know, just kind of doodle and just kind of do it instrumental-like. And it just worked out, and it kind of, you know, evolved over the years that we were playing it. I mean, when you see it, the first shows to the last shows, that song evolved so much to so many different things. And, you know, we put Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I mean, it really evolved. But anyway, yeah, it just kind of came from an idea I had when I sang for my wife.
Yeah, it was a cool, wonderful set piece as well. If you could have been a fly on the wall for the creation of any great album, just to see how the magic happened, what's that album to you? What have you always been intrigued by?
Well, you know what I'm intrigued by is, I guess that, I mean, I have to go to the Stones, like in that creative process, you know, I mean, and early on, you know, I mean, now we have so many tools available to us, but those early on, when he first, Keith Richards did open G tuning, you know, and started, you know, writing Brown Sugar, and all I think, you know, Exile in general, the fly on the wall when they were making Exile on Main Street, that would definitely be a place I wouldn't mind being.
I've waited about 7-8 years of the website for someone to come up with that album. that's definitely my pick as well. What a wonderful, groundbreaking album that was. Absolutely fantastic.
It's just such a great creative process and true artists that are there, you know, for the right reasons and making some just classic, great music, you know.
Yeah, it's classic. And we always end with the easiest question. What is the meaning of life?
Wow. I mean, I hate to be simple, but to be happy, man. Life is too freaking short, man. To find your way of smiling through the day, to me that is extremely, extremely important. I make a lot of choices in my life, and some things don't work out, but all those choices are made so I can be happy.
That's a great answer, I think. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to the Rock Pit today, Gilby. Can't wait to see you.
Right on, Mark, man. Hopefully I'll get to see you at one of the shows.
Oh, I hope so. Take care, mate. Have a good one.
You guys take care, Mark.
Thank you.